Welcome back, guys. Hope you're doing well. Today is our another read aloud from the one and only Ivan. If you notice, I'm wearing the same clothes as yesterday. It's because I'm doing the recording today, so don't judge me. The reading for today is going to start on page 38. And we'll check it around 66, I believe, today. There'll be some questions or activities for you to do after this, so make sure you're checking on that. And I appreciate you listening. The first thing we always do is a little recap, right? So I'm literally going to flip back, and you can flip back with me if you'd like, to look at kind of the last things we read about. I see here a lot about Bob, right? We found out about Bob's life story, about he was thrown onto the freeway and with his brothers and sisters, and he's the only one that made it out. That's where he found Ivan that night when he was freezing cold, and made his way to meet Ivan in his domain. Also, we talked a little bit more about Stella, his elephant best friend that he has. So this last chapters were really about Bob and Stella, and Ivan kind of describing those to him, to us. Also, was a little bit about Ivan being a lonely gorilla and him watching TV, and he spotted another gorilla on TV, and it really made him think, "Oh, is there more out there? Is there more of me?" Because he doesn't have one. He also said he watches westerns and romantic shows as well, romance shows with his westerns. So pretty funny chapters, but that's kind of where we're at. All right. Talked a little bit about Ivan drawing and a little about him wanting to eat more. So we start here on 38. It's called Picasso. If you don't know who Picasso is, he's a famous painter or artist. So kind of goes with Ivan, our little drawer, right? All right, here we go. Matt gives me a fresh crayon, a yellow one, and 10 pieces of paper. Time to earn your keep, Picasso, he mutters. I wonder who this Picasso is. Does he have a tire swing like me? Does he ever eat his crayons? I know I've lost my magic, so I try my very best. I clutch the crayon and think. I scan my domain. What is yellow? A banana. I draw a banana. The paper tears, but only a little. I lean back, and Mac picks up the drawing. Another day, another scribble, he says. 1 down, 9 to go. What else is yellow, I wonder, scanning my domain. I draw another banana, and then I draw 8 more. Well, Ivan loves to draw, right? And now he's drawing for Mac also, because Mac can make money off of it, right? He sells them. 3 visitors. 3 visitors are here. A woman, a boy, a girl. I strut across my domain for them. I dangle from my tire swing. I eat 3 banana peels in a row. The boy spits at my window. The girl throws a handful of pebbles. Sometimes I'm glad the glass is there. My visitors return. After the show, the spit pebble children come back. I display my impressive teeth. I splash in my filthy pool. I grunt and hoot. I eat and eat and eat some more. The children pound their pathetic chests. They toss more pebbles. Slimy chimps, I mutter. I throw a me-ball at them. Sometimes I wish the glass weren't there. Sorry. I'm sorry I called those children slimy chimps. My mother would be ashamed of me. Julia. Like the spit pebble children, Julia is a child, but that, after all, is not her fault. While her father George cleans the mall each night, Julia sits by my domain. She could sit anywhere she wants, by the carousel, in an empty food court, on the bleachers coated in sawdust, but I am not bragging when I say that she always chooses to sit with me. I think it's because we both love to draw. Sarah, Julia's mother, used to help clean the mall, but when she got sick and grew pale and stooped, Sarah stopped coming. Every night, Julia offers to help George, and every night he says firmly, "Homework, Julia. The floors will get dirty again." Homework, I've discovered, involves a sharp pencil, a thick book, and long sighs. I enjoy chewing pencils. I am sure I would excel at homework. Sometimes Julia dozes off, and sometimes she reads her book, but mostly she draws pictures and talks about her day. I don't know why people talk to me, but they often do. Perhaps it's because they think I can't understand them, or perhaps it's because I can't talk back. Julia likes science and art. She doesn't like Lila Burpee, who teases her because her clothes are old, and she does like Deshaun Williams, who teases her too, but in a nice way. And she would like to be a famous artist when she grows up. Sometimes Julia draws me. I am an elegant fellow in her pictures, with my silver back gleaming like a moon on moss. I never look angry, the way I do on a fading billboard by the highway. I always look a bit sad, though. I like how Julia is one of his favorite humans, right? He likes to draw. She likes to draw like him. She helps him. She sits by him. She looks like she cares about him. She talks to him. I really like Julia. Ivan does too. Drawing Bob. I love Julia's pictures of Bob. She draws him flying across the page, a blur of feet and fur. She draws him motionless, peeking out from behind a trash can, or the soft hill of my belly. Sometimes in her drawings, Julia gives Bob wings or a lion's mane. Once, she gave him a tortoise shell. But the best thing she ever gave him wasn't a drawing. Julia gave Bob his name. For a long time now, no one knew what to call Bob. Now and then a mall worker would try to approach him with a tidbit. "Here, doggy," they'd call, holding out a French fry. "Come on, Pooch," they'd say. "How about a little piece of sandwich?" But he would always vanish into the shadows before anyone could get too close. One afternoon, Julia decided to draw the little dog curled up in the corner of my domain. First, she watched him for a long time, chewing on her thumbnail. I could tell she was looking at him the way an artist looks at the world when she's trying to understand it. Finally, she grabbed a pencil and set to work. When she finished, she held up the page. There he was, the tiny, big-eared dog. He was smart and cunning, but his gaze was wistful. Under the picture were 3 bold, confident marks, circled in black. I was pretty certain it was a word, even though I couldn't read. Julia's father peered over the shoulder. "That's him exactly," he said, nodding. He pointed to the circled marks. "I didn't realize his name was Bob," he said. "Me neither," said Julia. She smiled. "I had to draw him first." Sorry, my pages are sticking together. Bob and Julia. I love this picture. Bob will not let humans touch him. He says their scent upsets his digestion. That's funny. But every now and then I see him sitting at Julia's feet. Her fingers move gently, just behind his right ear. Mac. Usually Mac leaves after the last show, but tonight he is in his office working late. When he's done, he stops by my domain and stares at me for a long time while he drinks from a brown bottle. George joins him, broom in hand, and Mac says the things he always says. "How about that game last night?" And "Business has been slow, but it'll get better, you'll see." And "Don't forget to empty the trash." Mac glances over at the picture Julia is drawing. "What are you making?" he asks. "It's for my mom," Julia says. "It's a flying dog." She holds up her drawing, eyeing it critically. She likes airplanes. And dogs. Mac murmurs, sounding unconvinced. He looks at George. "How's your wife doing anyway?" "About the same," George says. "She has good days and bad days." "Yeah, don't we all?" Mac says. Mac starts to leave and then pauses. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out a crumpled green bill, and presses it into George's hand. "Here," Mac says with a shrug. "Buy the kid some more crayons." Mac is already out the door before George can yell, "Thanks." That should give you a little clue, right? Says Julia's mom's sick. Kids make fun of her for her clothes. Matt gave him some money for crayons. So I'm guessing you're making an inference about Julia and her family, right? Even though she's a really, really sweet girl and takes care of Ivan, talks to him, takes care of Bob. She named him. But Julia has her own story too, right? All right, not sleepy. Stella. I say after Julia and her father go home, "I can't sleep." "Of course you can," she says. "You are the king of sleepers." "Shh," Bob says from his perch on my belly. "I'm dreaming about chili fries." "I'm tired," I say, "but I'm not sleepy." What are you tired of?" Stella asks. I think for a while. It's hard to put into words. Gorillas are not complainers. We're dreamers, poets, philosophers, nap takers. I don't know exactly. I kick my tire swing. I think I might be a little tired of my domain. "That's because it's a cage," Bob tells me. Bob is not always tactful. "I know," Stella says. "It's a very small domain." "And you're a very big gorilla," Bob adds. "Stella?" I ask. "Yes?" "I noticed you were limping more than usual today. Is your leg bothering you?" "Just a little," Stella answers. I sigh. Bob rests, resettles. His ears flick. He drools a bit, but I don't mind. I'm used to it. "Try eating something," Stella says. "That always makes you happy." I eat an old brown carrot. It doesn't help, but I don't tell Stella. She needs to sleep. "You could try remembering a good day," Stella suggests. "That's what I do when I can't sleep." Stella remembers every moment since she was born. Every scent, every sunset, every slight, every victory. "You know I can't remember much," I say. "There's a difference," Stella says gently, "between can't remember and won't remember." Think about that. The difference between can't remember something and won't remember something. It's a question I'm going to give you guys to think about. What's the difference? "Memories are precious," Stella adds. "They help tell us who we are. Try remembering all your keepers. You always liked Carl, the one with the harmonica?" "Carl, yes. I remember how he gave me a coconut when I was still a juvenile. It took me all day to open it. I try to recall other keepers I have known. The human who cleaned my domain and prepared my food and sometimes kept me company. There was Juan, who poured Pepsis into my waiting mouth, and Katrina, who used to poke me with a broom when I was sleeping, and Ellen, who sang, 'How much is that monkey in the window?' and with a sad smile while she scrubbed my water bowl. And there was Gerald, who once brought me a box of fat, sweet strawberries. Gerald was my favorite keeper. I haven't had a real keeper in a long time. Max says he doesn't have the money to pay for an ape babysitter. These days, George cleans my cage and Mac is the one who feeds me. When I think about all the people who have taken care of me, mostly it's Mac I recall, day in and day out, year after year after year. Mac, who bought me and raised me, and says, I'm no longer cute. As if a silverback could ever be cute. Moonlight falls on the frozen carousel and the silent popcorn stand, on the stall of leather belts that smell like long-gone cows. The heavy work of Stella's breathing sounds like the wind in trees, and I wait for sleep to find me. The Beetle. Matt gives me a new black crayon and a fresh pile of paper. It's time to work again. I smell the crayon, roll it in my hands, press the sharp point against my palm. There's nothing I love more than a new crayon. I search my domain for something to draw. What is black? An old banana peel would work, but I've eaten them all. Knot tag is brown. My little pool is blue. The yogurt raisin I'm saving for this afternoon is white, at least on the outside. Something moves in the corner. I have a visitor. A shiny beetle has stopped by. Bugs often wander through my domain on their way to somewhere else. Hello, beetle, I say. He freezes, silent. Bugs never want to chat. The beetles are an attractive bug with a body like a glossy nut. He's black as a starless night. Can you picture the beetle crawling across the little domain? Shiny black. That's it. I'll draw him. It's hard making a picture of something new. I don't get the chance that often. But try. I try. I to look at the beetle, who's being kind enough not to move, then backed at my paper. I draw his body, his legs, his little antenna, his sour expression. I'm lucky. The beetle stays all day. Usually bugs don't linger when they visit. I'm beginning to wonder if he's feeling all right. Bob, who's known to munch on bugs from time to time, offers to eat him. I tell Bob that won't be necessary. I'm just finishing my last picture when Mac returns. George and Julia are with him. Mac enters my domain and picks up a drawing. What the heck is this? He asked. Beats me. Ivan thinks he's drawing. This is a picture of nothing. A big black nothing. Julia stands outside my domain. Can I see? She asked. Mac holds my picture up to the window. Julia tilts her head. She squeezes one eye shut, and then she opens her eye and scans my domain. I know, she exclaimed. It's a beetle. See? Look, a beetle over there by Ivan's pool. Man, I just sprayed this place for bugs. Mac walks over to the beetle and lifts his foot. Before Mac can stomp, the beetle skitters away, disappearing through a crack in the wall. Mac turns back to my drawing. So you figure this is a beetle, huh? If you say so, kid. Oh, it's a beetle for sure, Julia says, smiling at me. I know a beetle when I see one. It's nice, I think, having a fellow artist around. Change. Stella's the first to notice the change, but soon we all feel it. A new animal is coming to the Big Top Mall. How do we know this? Because we listen, we watch, and most of all, we sniff the air. Humans always smell odd when change is in the air, like rotten meat with a hint of papaya. To me, that sounds like that would smell like not good, right? But that's probably how we do smell to animals, right? You know how much stronger they can smell. So they notice something's coming, some change is coming, a new animal. Guessing. Bob fears our new neighbor will be a giant cat with slitted eyes and a coiled tail. But Stella says a truck will arrive this afternoon carrying a baby elephant. How do you know? I ask. I sample the air, but all I smell is caramel corn. I love caramel corn. I can hear her, Stella says. She's crying for her mother. I listen. I hear the cars charging past. I hear the snore of the sun bears in their wider domain. But I don't hear any elephants. You're just hoping, I say. Stella closes her eyes. No, she says softly. Not hoping. Not at all. Wonder why do you think Stella would say that? Why would she not hope that? Why would she hope it? Well, it's a question for us to think about. Jambo. My TV is off, so while we wait for the new neighbor, I ask Stella to tell us a story. Stella rubs her right foot against the wall. Her foot is swollen again, an ugly deep red. If you're not feeling well, Stella, I say, you could take a nap and tell us a story later. I'm fine, she says, and she carefully shifts her weight. Tell us the Jambo story, I say. It's a favorite of mine, but I don't think Bob has ever heard it. Because she remembers everything, Stella knows many stories. I like colorful tales with black beginnings and stormy middles, and cloudless blue sky endings. but any story will do. I'm not in a position to be picky. Once upon a time, Stella begins, there was a human boy. He was visiting a gorilla family at a place called a zoo. What's a zoo? Bob asks. He's a smart dog, but there's not much he hasn't seen. A good zoo, Stella says, is a large domain, a wild cage, a safe place to be. It has room to roam and humans who don't hurt. She pauses, considering her words. A good zoo is how humans make amends. Amends means how you make up to somebody, how you say you're sorry. So a zoo is what Stella is saying is a place where humans can make up for all the bad stuff they do to animals. Stella moves a bit, groaning softly. The boy stood on a wall, she continues, watching, pointing, but he lost his balance and fell into the wild cage. Humans are clumsy, I interrupt. If only they would knuckle walk, they would not topple so often. Stella nods. A good point, Ivan. In any case, the boy lay in a motionless heap, while the humans gasped and cried. The silverback, whose name was Jambo, examined the boy, and his duty, as was his duty, and his troop watched from a safe distance. Jambo stroked the boy's head gently. He smelled the boy's pain, and then he stood watch. When the boy awoke, the humans cried out, "Stay still! Don't move!" Because they were certain, humans are always certain about things, that Jambo would crush the boy's life from him. The boy moaned. The crowd waited, hushed, expecting the worst. Jambo led his troop away. Men came down on ropes and whisked the child into waiting arms. Was the boy all right? Bob asked. He wasn't hurt, Stella says. Although I wouldn't be surprised if his parents hugged him many more times that night, in between their scoldings. Bob, who has been chewing on his tail, pauses, tilting his head. Is that a true story? I always tell the truth, Stella replies, although I sometimes confuse the facts. We're going to stop there, guys. I hope you're loving this as much as I am. I hope you're noticing some cool things as we keep going through this book. I'm really loving it. I really hope that you're visualizing when you read with me. I hope that you're hearing me read it. I hope you're reading along. I hope that you're really picturing this stuff in your head as it's happening. That's really going to help you understand it better and remember things and help answer questions better and do discussions better, okay? So thank you for listening to me. You have some work that goes along with this, so go ahead and get popping on that. And I will see you soon.